guys. So in this video we'll be implementing validating webhook, wherein it should prompt me like if I don't give the specific labels, it should not deploy the deployment, or else if I'm running as a privileged container, it should stop me from running privileged containers. So this is the code. This is the code. We need to build it. Like privileged containers are not allowed, right? It should put me this error. And labels are missing. Like these labels, environment and platform labels should be there so these are the labels required. So team name should be there, or environment should be defined before any deployment, like in the deployment. If that is not there, it will fail. So for that we need to build the image. For that I have written Docker file. This is a simple Docker file for our application. So I have written this in Flask framework, Python Flask framework. It's written in Python Flask framework. So we have to create certificates and everything. So I'll be creating everything in this video. So stay tuned. So you can also implement by yourself the same thing. I'll provide the code in the description, and also provide the blog in the description. You can read the blog, or you can watch this video and try to implement it as well. And I've also created mutating webhook before. So mutating webhook is already deployed, and video has been covered in that. Video has been recorded for that. So I'll attach that video also in the description. You'll probably have it. So once this is done, let's build it. For building it, we need to write some commands. Building the image. Let's build it. This is the command for building the application, validating webhook. So I'm naming it as validating webhook, and version 1 I'm giving. So let it get built. It will throw an error. I suppose no, it will not. It didn't throw an error because certificates are already there. I think. No, let me do one thing. Let me delete it. Need to generate certificates, and then you have to deleted it. So we need to generate certificates before. We need to have san.cnf. For that, this is the command for that. I provided the blog in the GitHub repo. Everything is there, so we can find it there. The GitHub repo. So generate a CA certificate for our validating webhook. For that, these are the commands. If I check, it will be there, right? These files are generated. CA cert, CA key, CA CRL. All these things are generated. This TLS CSR and TLS key, everything is generated. CRT, everything is generated by default when I run that command. Now we will build the image. Once image is built, okay, let's check the image. It is there, right? So our image is there. So now we need to deploy this webhook configuration. Webhook, we have to deploy this webhook. So to deploy this webhook, we have created a manifest file for that. Let me show you. Deployment.yaml. So I've created manifest file wherein I have I've taken this image, and same image I've taken, and also I've created a service in that. It should work on 443 port, because it will authenticate with API server, right? So API server will not allow HTTP. It only allows HTTPS. So we have created a service on port 443 HTTPS, and exposed our application on HTTPS as an HTTP. Once this is done, so let's create a secret using the TLS cert and TLS key. Oh, webhook, that namespace is not found. Let me create the namespace. Once namespace is created, let's create a secret. Secret is created, and in this only, I suppose in this only namespace is already there. So let's apply and see. Apply deployment. namespace will be skipped. That will not get created, right? Namespace is already there. When this is done, let's check if our pod is running. Pod is running, right? We need to create a configuration file for our validating webhook, where it will validate using that configuration. So we need to have configuration for that file also. I have the configuration file with me. Let me show you. This is the configuration file. Like it will go and check for pods and deployments, right? Go and check for pods and deployments. So this is the main configuration file of validating webhook. So let me check that. Let me check if I have any validating configuration already there. Webhook configuration already there. I don't have anything as of now. So let me create it. To create it, we need to generate a CA cert. TLS cert we need to generate. For that, this is the command for that. Once this is generated, let's copy it and let's validating. Copy the cert which is available. Let's apply. It is created. We have a pods also created, right? Pods are also running, and let's test it now. Like no label, but no label deploy. Like it is running as privileged, and also then there's no label, so it should not run. Running as privileged true, and labels are also not there, so this should not run actually. So let's apply and see if it is running or not. No, it will not run because it is saying this is the error we get, like error when creating no label, like there is no label, right? Team and environment labels are not there. So let's try to so this is not working, right? So let's try to deploy the working YAML file. It has labels, and it has like environment and team label, and also like the environment and team labels are there, and also it is not running as privileged container, right? So it should work now. Let's apply and see. Okay, it is already running. Let me delete it and try to apply it again. Let me apply it again because it was already running. So let me check now. It is running, right? So because it is running, because labels are there, and also it is not running as privileged container. So the first one has failed because it was running as privileged container, privilege as true, and labels also, like there were no labels as team or environment, right? So it would fail. That's why it failed. And yeah, so we implemented validating webhook, wherein it goes and checks if that labels are there or not, and also it checks if the privilege content is there or not. We implemented that, and now like this is how you implement validating webhook. And mutating webhook, I have provided in detail about mutating webhook in my previous video. Can probably go and check. So I'll attach this GitHub repo in the description, and also the blog which I have written I'll attach in the description. You possibly you will be able to read that and implement it by yourself. So I suppose this is what I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you for watching. Let's do one thing now. We have created the image, right? So we'll try to push it to Docker Hub, so that the image is saved in our Docker Hub repository. So this is the image, right? So so let's try to tag it and try to push it into Docker Hub. Let's Docker tag. Docker push. Let's a Docker push. Before Docker push, you have to do Docker login. Docker login is already there, so I'll push it. Let me show you the image. Listen a minute. See, let me show again. It should be validating webhook, right? Audit attack. Okay. Let me tag it and let me tag it again. And then push it again. It's pushing. It's been pushed, right? So this is the image validating webhook. This is the image. So I can use this image every time whenever I want to test validating webhook. So and this is mutating webhook, which I have already raised it, right? Sometime back. You have to use version 2, not version 1, because version 1 it puts validating webhook. So version 2 is mutating webhook. Version 1 is again now it is made to validating webhook. By mistakenly I pushed the same image I pushed, like not same image, the same name I when it pushed to validating webhook rather than mutating webhook. Yeah. So I have the webhooks here, two webhooks I have. So I'll probably rename it to mutating webhook rather than webhook. I cannot rename it. I'll try to push the new image again. Try to push the new image of mutating webhook and try to have as a mutating webhook rather than webhook. That's I guess that will give a clarity on what webhook it is. So this is my Docker Hub repository. So that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you.